I chose AmeriBar for bar exam tutoring because I had taken other bar exam courses and none of them had gotten me to where I wanted to be for a passing score. I always seemed to come up a few points short here, a few points short there, and I wasn't able to figure out why. In my first session with my tutor, I was able to talk with her about what my problems were and where I was losing points in the bar exam. And that was extremely helpful because I was able to focus my studying on just those aspects that I was missing. We immediately focused on my essay writing. My first set of multiple choice questions I was doing fine on, and she even said that the information that I put into my essay was great. She said she could tell that I had a very good understanding of the law. The problem was I wasn't able to convey that in a manner that the bar examiners would have been able to give me the points I needed. In going through my essays, we were able to focus my test-taking techniques on fixing the problems I had to organize my essays and get everything going the way I wanted them to. What impressed me the most about AmeriBar's tutoring program was having the one-on-one contact with a tutor. My tutor was extremely helpful, and she was very knowledgeable not only about the law but also about how to help me get from where I was to where I wanted to be. Having a personal tutor for the bar exam was extremely helpful for me because instead of just sitting back and listening to lectures or reading an outline, reading from a book, I was able to have somebody there who would immediately give me feedback on not only my answers that I was giving for the essay questions or for the multiple choice questions, but also if I had a question about what we were talking about, if I had a problem with the way she said something, the way something was written, I had immediate feedback from her on what she meant, what the question meant, also why I wasn't getting the points I wanted to, where I was faltering. So it was very helpful to have that immediate feedback and to have that personal touch to help me through. Also, when I started to have doubts or questioning my ability to pass the bar exam, you always had somebody there who was not only able to tutor you, but also to give you that quick boost of confidence to let you know what you were doing right, how many things you were doing correctly, and how you were just falling a little bit short here or there, and that's why you weren't being able to pass. So that was another very good touch. It was extremely helpful to have that. My tutor demonstrated expertise in not only her knowledge of the law, but also her ability to help me focus in on where I was not getting the points I needed to pass the bar exam. By coming up just a point short here, a point short there, I was really hurting myself, and she was able to focus in, allow me to continue writing the essays, but write them in a way that I was able to get the most points. Tutoring by phone was interesting. I'd never really worked with another person in my studying. Usually I studied on my own, just reading, going through the motions. I had a bunch of books where I was answering multiple choice questions. I wrote essay questions, but having somebody call me once a week on the phone, being able to talk through all the questions, if I slipped up on my multiple choice, we were able to focus in on why I was doing that. We were able to figure out why or what areas of the law I was messing up on, and we were able to focus in on my essay writing, which was one of the main reasons why I was having trouble with the bar exam. Tutoring by phone was interesting. It was great to have somebody who I could have constant contact with, who would call me each week so that we could go over all the questions that I'd prepared. It was good to have that immediate feedback when I was trying to figure out why I wasn't doing something correct or why something wasn't going my way. And it was helpful in that respect because I always had that person that was going to be there to go through and absolutely nitpick my essays and call me back and tell me what my problem areas were, why I was doing this, why I was doing that. And by having that constant contact and having that person that I could always go to, it was really helpful and it was really beneficial for my test taking. I would tell a potential examinee considering a tutor that they should really go for it. I know having my tutor helped me to figure out exactly what I was doing wrong. And it's one thing to have all of the books, all of the answers, to take 1,000 or 2,000 multiple choice questions, to write 50 or 60 essays. But when you're not able to have that outside person look at what you're doing, tell you why or why not that you're going to get points, it makes all the world of a difference. Because you're going from something where you're not quite sure whether you're going to pass or not, to being almost positive that you have the skills, that you have the knowledge, that you have everything you need to get your point across to the examiners in a way that you're going to maximize your points and you're going to pass the bar exam. I found AmeriBar's tutoring program provided me the tools that I needed to pass the bar exam. Not the knowledge that I needed, but the tools. I already had the substantive law down. I knew what I was saying, I knew what I was trying to do, but having somebody who was able to sit down with me and go through my essays, who was able to look at the multiple choice that I did and show me that I missed all 6 of a certain area of law, that is what I consider the most helpful, because you can sit back and you can do all the multiple choice, you can do the essays, but if you don't know where you're slipping up or you can't put it together that you're missing a certain area of the law or that you're not writing your essays the way you should be, that's where you're going to be losing the most amount of points. And that's also the way that you can make up the most amount of points. If you're slipping up in the substantive law, you really need to focus on that. But having the tutoring and having the real structured look at what I was doing, that's what it provided me, was having that extra boost in the points that I needed to break out of just barely failing to passing the bar exam. My tutor's focus on test-taking techniques and study strategies was really the reason that I was able to pass the bar exam. We were able to focus in on my test-taking techniques to make sure that my essay questions were answered adequately and in a way that the bar examiners could find the information they needed in my essays quickly, and they were able to give me the points that I needed. My essays were written with all the information that I had and all the information that I needed. The problem was organizing that information in a way that the bar examiners, with their minimal amount of time, were able to, they weren't able to find that information. And having the test-taking techniques that AmeriBar uses was able to allow me to organize my essays and put all the information down so that when the bar examiners would begin grading, they were able to pull out all the information quickly and move on to the next examinee's questions. And I could maximize my points to get the bar exam over and done with. Having a personal tutor not only helped me with my test-taking techniques and study strategies and working through all the different parts of the bar exam. But it was also great to have somebody there to boost my confidence, to allow me to understand that I did know what I was talking about. I had learned the information I needed through my years of law school, through my bar prep, and whenever I came up with a problem, it was great to have the immediate feedback and the knowledge that I had somebody working with me who was going to get me from A to B, who was going to push me to get from not being able to pass the bar exam to passing the bar exam without a problem. And it was great having that help every week, having the person who called me up, kept me on track, focused my studies on where I needed to, instead of letting my studying wander through areas of law that I already knew that I really didn't need to focus on. So having a tutor was great to keep me on focus, keep me on task, and to push me to what I needed to be doing.